Greetings to you all. I am Benjamin Franklin. As I visit once again in your earth plane, I remind you that life is but a joy. It is a privilege to be alive. It is a privilege to have entered with this opportunity to know and understand your own selves, to know your own minds, to have a concept of where your thoughts come from. Indeed, where do these thoughts come from? Let us speak of that. Are they rapidly, randomly firing synapses? Whatever pairs of synapses are floating around in the environment of your brain that happen to bump into each other and fire, producing a thought. And once that thought, that circuit is completed, then other circuits nearby them complete as well. And pretty soon thoughts become ideas. Ideas become stories. Stories become causes of action. Before you know it, all this random firing of synapses has produced something that you do not recognize. These are what you can call mob mentalities, what you can call mass thought programming that you do unto yourselves. If you are a fearful person, the thoughts that you continue to compile will be those that are fearful. If you are a cheerful person, those thoughts that you continue to compile will be of a joyous nature. They will see the brightest possibilities. If you are what you consider an intellectual, one who has reason at his or her side, who knows that the repeated application of principles of reason will bring the best answer. You then rapidly apply them. Points and counterpoints. All the tools of the intellect. Not realizing that those tools that you choose to apply, those thoughts that you choose to apply those tools to, are indeed those that come from your rapidly firing synapses. So what are these rapidly firing synapses really governed by? It is not all physics. It is not all happenstance, is it? No. They are guided by the emotional field in which you live, in which your physiology lives. It is the unknown hand, the invisible motivator. And these emotions, again, as most of your psychologists can tell you, reduce to either love or fear. If you are loving, the synapses that fire will look for loving things to fire about. Thoughts and ideas based on love and compassion will emerge. If you are in a fearful emotional field, those thoughts that naturally seem to occur, that naturally seem to come from your brain, which you believe is your mind, are of a fearful nature. They are of defensive. They look for danger. And how can we best protect from this danger? And well, indeed, the best way to protect from this danger, is it not to alert all of your neighbors? Impress your fearful emotional field upon them, and then inspire them as well to put their mental resources to work in finding more and more things to be afraid of and more ways to defend from these fearful things that you have created. Well, what about the others? What about those who see positivity, who see potentials in all things, who realize that, yes, this looks perhaps a little scary. However, we can produce something positive of this. We can see the light of the end of the tunnel. Those of the spiritual nature can truly see light at the end of the tunnel. I will now speak to those of you engaged in spiritual disciplines. And by this, my friends, I do not mean to disappoint, but by this I do not refer to religion. I refer to those who are engaged in the pursuit of the discovery of their own soul. The idea of the soul exists in all religions. However, not all religions teach you how to access your own soul. Most religions will gladly assist you in telling you what your soul desires. As you know, this does not always turn out well, does it? So we will leave this behind without saying further derogatory words about it. I speak now, as I have said, to those of you who are dedicated to the discovery of your own soul, to the discovery of the light within you. I, as Benjamin Franklin, speak to you as a light being who has come to earth at appropriate times to accomplish appropriate tasks. I am famous to many of you for many different reasons, and this is fine. What I wish to tell you, though, is you are no different than me. No matter what you seem to be engaged in, no matter what you feel your message is or what your mission is upon the planet, you are beings of light who have coalesced into three-dimensional bodies, who have coalesced into the chemical, the physical, the biological systems, as well as the etheric energy systems. And I will add the electrical and magnetic systems that indeed do make up your quite complex human existence. If you stop and think of it, only a light being of such advanced degree could possibly be brought into a body to control such a complex organism. You're all light beings in human form, but very few of you, perhaps 3%, have the access to information in the package of a current emotional pattern that allows you to even perceive a notion of yourself as light beings. Do you see? And those are those of you who listen to this, who have access to this, who would even be remotely interested in listening to a man open his mouth and presume to speak for the spirit of Benjamin Franklin. So those of you who have passed this test, some would say, of highly focused spiritualities, others would say they have flunked the test of rationality. That is fine. All can think what they think. That is the beauty of where you are on your planet. So I come back to those of you who indeed are inclined to listen to this. I implore of you to go inside in whatever methods of meditation you use. I implore you to go inside and to seek that of you that is of the light, that part of you that came from somewhere else, that part of you that is indeed eternal. I will say this, many of you ascribe the quality of eternality to God. God is eternal. You are temporary. You come on the earth, live a short life, and then die and enter in a state of judgment from the Eternal One. I am so sorry to disappoint you, but you live much longer than that, and indeed you are eternal. So if you indeed think that you can really get through this life and go someplace vague afterwards, oh, this is not the case. This is not the case at all. You will have an opportunity to return as often as it takes to then indeed come to the realization of what is true, that you indeed are an eternal being, every bit as eternal as the one you refer to as God. And the sooner you find a way to accept this, the sooner you can then move into your identity of such. You can move into your own eternality. Did we create a new word? I indeed hope so. The eternality of you all is the point. As eternal beings, your only place of existence is not here on the planet you find yourselves walking in. It is indeed in the stars, in the realms of pure light. This is the basis of my existence that I have told my channel here, Gregory, many times, to come look for me there. He usually does. When he does, he finds me there. He finds a Benjamin Franklin that is much different than the one who walked the planet, with the various reputations he had, both stellar and sordid from his life. He finds the being who came to Earth to fulfill these roles and functions, this light being. And as that light being, I invite you all to find yourselves as light beings, to discover your membership in the Light Being Club. And as you do, as you entertain this thought and notion that you are light beings, you then come to a place of understanding that you are light beings. And you will understand why you too indeed have come to the planet. It may not be to be an inventor, to be a diplomat, to be a printer, to be a communicator, and many of the other things I was accused of being in my lifetime. Perhaps you came to do these things, but for a different reason. And as you can discover your own eternality, we can say divinity as well. You will then see how what you do every day in your life brings you to the place of constructing this planet, of constructing the systems upon this planet to make life for all easier, to make life for all fulfilling. Because the God in you is fulfillment, and indeed wants to be fulfilled. And indeed, that is why You have chosen this expression to come to the earth to find fulfillment. It is known that light beings who come to earth and find fulfillment can find fulfillment everywhere. This should be of great comfort to you, for whom fulfillment has escaped you thus far. So please know that this is true. Please know that fulfillment is yours. But that fulfillment only comes from yourself. It comes from your finding your own eternality, your own divinity, and allowing that divinity to express. And in so doing, eschewing anything on the planet that hinders that expression, that is not of the divine, that is not created by light beings acting in their highest interest, acting in their highest expression. So not only do you realize you are a light being, but you also realize that your highest expression is what you are here to find. And once you do find it, you are here to express it. You are here to express it in a way that benefits all. I'll leave you with these thoughts today. I am Benjamin Franklin, and a most pleasant and joyous and eternal good day to you all.